Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video with the Observer Wrestling Federation. So this might interest a few people, probably for many they won't care, but I just felt like showcasing my offline save just to see if folk want to take a wee interest in it. I decided a while back I wanted to try and get a TW save where I could maybe progress 10-15 years into the future by booking everything. I've done it constantly with Football Manager, got way into the future, and folk know how I do quite enjoy when it starts taking a bit of futuristic approach, a bit of unrealism, as you will, a bit of fiction or fantasy towards the save, and that's what we're looking to do here. I just felt like when you're doing YouTube videos, obviously you can only do a certain amount per week, you can only get so far in the game, and also at times I'm limited when I can actually record, so at times I'm sitting wanting to play TW and I can't. So what I've done is, one of the games, I've got a massive list of games I want to play and achievements I want to do, and I want 100% this as well. All the achievements you get, I want to try and do them. So step forward, OWF, the Observer Wrestling Federation. My user character is the one and only Brian Alvarez, because his rants remind me of my mate Luca, who just rants. So naturally, I felt that was a good fit. Now, to make OWF, I couldn't be bothered going through the editor and starting a new company there. Just made my guy unemployed, start a new company. Money-wise wasn't great, I just felt like it'd be basically run an Impact again, so this might turn a few people away from this. I just gave the company 100 million to start a network, just to give us a place to go. I felt the challenge for this save was going to be, well, everyone's tied up in either WWE contracts or AEW contracts, and there's not much of a free agency market. So before we go through the roster, because as you can imagine, things have changed. This is the third week of February, and I started this one just after WrestleMania. So my broadcasting deal sees us on the Observer Network. So basically all our shows, our lockdown show, or lowdown, sorry, is it lockdown? Showdown, I don't know, Lockdown is my next Impact event I'm booking, that's where I get confused. So Showdown, we just do that on the Observer Network. We can get a lot of people watching, huge, very big. That's where the 100 million stretch to. But basically we can't really improve it until we get a lot more money, so I'm kind of in this stage of building up my roster, which as I say you'll see, which is a combination of many things. Also called the Observer Network. But I just felt like, do that and then I can just book to my heart contents, because obviously a few of the achievements, if you've ever seen them in this, is stuff like get 100 rated show, get 50, and then the same with matches, and I'm like, I'm getting nowhere in any of my saves, so I need something that can help me get there, and we're still a long way to go, but we can certainly seek to get there. So that's the broadcasting side of things. The financial side of things, you can see there, I started off with 100k that you get with that kind of company, just gave us 100 million, this is, in fact, this is the only thing I've touched in there. So I don't tend to touch the editor, it wasn't until I saw something mention it. I think we changed somebody's, oh no, we changed Okada's loyalty away from New Japan, because obviously in a regular save I wouldn't pinch the kind of guys, but just in this instance that was the only thing. Like his people that are retired, we still can't get them unless we talk to them, which is another thing. Every single wrestler that's retired in this save, I spoke to them. It was a small fraction that came out of retirement, some big names, and I thought, you know what, if you're going to have one last run, have it with us. And you can see the only time I've given the company money is purely through the 100 million to start the Observer, and you can see there, right there, media, straight to start the Observer Wrestling Federation. Of course, though, with the money that the broadcast revenue generates, that kind of covers us now. And you also see we've got a development company. We took over MLW, because they went into big debt. So we'll quickly through that. We've already brought in Alpha, we've brought in Baby Extreme, we've brought in Bianca Carelli, obviously daughter of Santino Marella, Big T Justice, Blake Christian, Dana Brooke, Eric Redbeard's down as a road agent, wasn't good enough for the main roster. Fernando Marino is a new gen, so this is something I'm looking forward to. I love new gens in Football Manager, bring them through. So I'm intrigued to see how it does with the wrestlers. We've got Callie Perez down there, Koto Brazil, Rachel Ellering, Terrell Dudley, and Toya Iwasaki. So collect the talent through in our developmental company. Gonna skip here to events. No, I'm not. Well, there you go. I suppose good. So showdowns or show. We started in April, so New Beginnings has had 2 New Beginnings. If you can see here, with 7,000 people attend our first show, which was in April 2021, and New Beginnings 2 was in January. Just decided to go with the start of the year. We basically went with New Beginnings into Proving Grounds, Clock Strikes 12, Vendetta, Great Summer Bash, Sudden Impact, all from the name, the automatic name thing in this. I just felt like, yeah, that'll do. Sudden Impact, Halloween Horror Show, Coming Into Our Own, and our WrestleMania, which was our Day of Reckoning. So, yeah, that was quite good. That managed to draw 40,000 people and 83, but we did kind of give that the boosts that you would see in Impact. And in AEW, I just want to check here. If I go to New Beginnings. Oh, there we go. So that gives you an idea of how we kind of started. So it was a lot of kind of free agents and open contracts. So I'd like Kurt Angle in just to give us a cheap promo, because obviously I'm basing the company on main event spotlight and the top promo. Or Angle. The kind of people we had with Ace Austin, Danny Limelight, we had Eric Redbeard, Travis Williams, Tennille Dashwood, Callan King, Tessa Blanchard, Holly Cromwell, Rich Swann, Trey Miguel, Rob Van Dam, AC Mack, Enzo, and the man I wanted to base the company around, La Sombra. A lot of things I was hoping to do in this challenge was just try and basically make stars out of people with next to no overness that maybe I wasn't aware of, many people weren't aware of, and that's something else we're looking to do in the save as well. But it's safe to say the roster has changed quite dramatically. So before we go through the results of our last event, St Valentine's Day Massacre, as well as it says 64,000 people attending, you're thinking already? There's your key thing there. Tickets for this event are set to be free. I wanted to try it, and I think that's going to be our best way of getting the 100,000 achievement, if we can keep getting our overness up. But we're still higher than an 83 rated show, so what I've realised is, with AEW I managed to break that kind of ceiling because it was in a previous patch where it was a bit easier to get people over. It's a lot more difficult now, but I still think I can get there. It's just going to take a bit of time and a few people to work in there, but 40,000, and that was our season finale, our Day of Reckoning. Right, roster, product by the way, Wrestling Nerd Nirvana. Called it wrestling, there's everything you need to know there. Medium division, tight focus, main event spotlight, as always. So let's go through very quickly because it's quite a big roster. MDF's all available, a few bizarre ones, but hey, why not? So AC Mack, Ace Austin, Adam Cole, straight. You'll notice anyone from WWE or NXT is a written contract. The AEW ones I'll explain when we get there. Aiden English, AJ Lee, not out of retirement, but I've got her as a manager and a personality. AJ Styles, Akam, Al Snow, road agent. Anthony Corelli, road agent. Barbaro Cavanaro, again somebody I wasn't too much familiar with, but the attributes and skill points were quite interesting, so we can look to build him. B. Priestley, Bo Dallas is about to sign. Brian Pillman Jr., get Brian Stifler, Brian Alvarez, our user character. Bryce Remsburg, Cassie Lee, Kaz XL, Chris Hero, Chris Daniels, CM Punk is out of retirement, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner. Punk has yet to debut, but we'll utilise him before he kinda retires again. Cody Rhodes, now you're thinking, how the hell did I get Cody Rhodes? An AEW Trueborn. Now this is where it's going to get interesting. In this mod, Real World Chronicles, the April one, Cody Rhodes obviously starts with a written contract with AEW, signed an extension on a handshake deal. Now, I can't get him on a written deal because of that AEW Trueborn, and I thought, well, that's a bit. There's some people I felt like Cody, Kenny, etc., keep them with AEW, but if they can come in and help us, absolutely get them in the door. So we've got Cody from AEW, and every other AEW talent, out of respect, is on a handshake deal. Other people, we've got Daga, we've got our co-commentator, our colour man is Daniel Cormier. He's going to be calling the action alongside Rich, I think it's Piccini, and Aiden English. That's our trio. So the colour commentator, Daniel Cormier, I think he had a great stat as well for announcing. 85 for his colour, so His colour commentary is fantastic, so that's why I've got him in. Darius Lockhart, we've got Davey Richards out of retirement to reform the American Wolves. Doug Williams, we've got Dragon Lee, Eddie Edwards, El Hijo del Viking, Erica Lee, Evie, Gable. You'll notice a lot of the WWE guys, well, have been given new names, are not the most creative. There's one that's really creative and I'm proud of it. But yeah, so we get Gable, Gail Kim, out of retirement. Garza Jr.'s just signed, so I'm going to have to see what I want to give him as a new name, or just what I call him, Garza or something. Gazelle Shaw's an interesting one because she is part of... Well, basically, I've got one road agent that has a lot of proteges and seems to just improve their psychology week by week. So with Lance Storm on board, it made sense to bring in Gazelle Shaw. That obviously benefits Tennille Dashwood, and it also helps boost the attributes of Cassie Lee. So she's been gaining psychology week after week. So also in as a Hangman Page on a written deal, an open handshake deal. Hatred. Casey Catanzaro cheated on Ricochet literally as we were in negotiations to bring him in. So he re-signed with WWE. We got Casey and her partner is Hangman Page, so we just put them together. The joys of TW. Harry Smith is in, he's in the New Heart Foundation with Brian Pillman Jr. We got Holly Cromwell, Heidi Lovelace has just signed, Jacob Fatu, Jake something, Jamie Hayter, she's out for a year with a broken neck. JD Drake, we've got Jeff Cobb, we'll speak more on him later. We've got Jimmy Jacobs, he's going to be quite interesting what we're going to do with him. Joey Matthews, Johnny Gargano, Jonah Rock, he's still at debut. I'm not sure I'm going to go with Jonah Rock, but we'll give the current Bronson Reed a new name. Jordan Grace, Casey Catanzaro we've touched on, Casey Owens, Kaylee Ray, Akada. You can see there's a lot here that I've yet to debut, literally signing people week after week after week, because the plan is to go to 2 brands at one point. Casey Navarro, Keith Harris, Kenny Omega, our former champion, no longer, Kevin Keenan, we've got Kylan King, King Cuerno, the former Santos Escobar El Hijo del Fantasma, is in. Crane, Big Otis. Why is he called Crane? He was in a tag team called Heavy Machinery and he likes lifting things. So does a crane. So bad, but that was my mentality for it. We've got Chris Statlander, Kurt Angle, Kushida, Kyle O'Reilly, La Hidera. I wanted to try and push some luchadors over, some female luchadors. La Sombra, Lacey Ryan, Lance Inoue, Lance Storm, Lee Murati, Levia, I'm going to butcher some of these so badly. Mandy Leon, the manager of the Natural. Is it the Natural? I think I was going to call him the Natural nickname, if was it? I think I was going to go Natural. But there's another spoiler. We've got Mark Billington, one of the nephews of, I believe, Dynamite Kid, Mark Cardona, Mickey James, Mike Bailey, Mike Kyoda, Mike Rotundo. There's a lot of Mikes in there. Mikio Inoue, Montez Ford. We're just going to call him Tez and see how much we can get that charisma to get him over. Mischief's out of retirement. We've got Nick Nemeth, as I said, Nicole Matthews, Nightmare. The Fiend has signed, written contract, and you know what? We just decided to call him the Nightmare. And such a run he's having that the Nightmare has never lost. That's the plan we're going to keep. He's our Undertaker. Enzo, Pac, Paul London, Pentel 0M, Bertia Perez also out of retirement. Prince Devitt's just signed, Raven Creed, interesting. Razar, so we didn't call him Rezar. Ray Phoenix, Rich Buccini, so the former guy of WWE now with MLW, he's our main lead. There's no other commentators available, basically we're stuck with him just now. Roddy Strong, Roosh, I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm going with how Pacitti pronounces it. If it's just called Rush, then I'll be gutted, but he said Roosh, so we'll go with Roosh. Saki Kashima, Sami Zed, Samoa Joe, Sanada, Sarah Stock, Sari, Sasha, Scorpio Sky, Scott D'Amore, Serena Deeb, Shane Douglas, Shane Strickland, Shota Yamino, Neil Dashwood, Tessa Blanchard, Fia Trinidad, and I should say as well that Pearl and Wisdom is the tag team of Sarah Stock and Serena Deeb. Tom Billington, Thunder Rosa, Tom Pritchard, Trey Miguel, Yuki Neo, and you, and Zach Gibson. Quite the roster. I just keep signing people and hope it works, but really looking forward to just try to get some people over that have never really done anything in any sort of TWs. I don't think I've done too much in terms of teams. As I say, the American Wolves, AOP, Canadian Ninjas, Death Triangle, I'm not really using them at the moment. Dynamic Duo, in fact they're on the wrong side of the divide, so let's just put that as inactive. Next Generation Heart Foundation, Endzone Kaz, Perron Wisdom, and the Storm Warning. Because, you know, prodigies of Landstorm. Yeah, not really running any stables at the moment. I'm still like making sure I get my roster sorted before we fix stuff. So other things I really just want to touch on. Size, I guess. So we started at 60, actually dropped to start with for that first show. But as I say, with weekly television we're up to 73 in the US in most places. Canada's a good bit off, but progressed well. And then it's just a case of getting Mexico. It's the same as AEW, getting everywhere else in the world to a good level. But I'm hoping March, April and May there's going to be events called the Global Series, so I'm hoping to run a show in Japan, run a show in Mexico, in the UK, 5 different countries, because I want to make my championships World Championships. So the OWF Observer Wrestling Federation champion is Pac. It started with La Sombra, it moved to Kenny Omega, and your latest champion is Pac. The reason Pac won the championship belt from Kenny is because Kenny Omega made a promise that he was going to job to Brian Pillman Jr. to put him over. So I didn't want my champion losing to Pillman Jr. so soon. So Pac takes the victory. So that was the plan behind that. But 3 champions so far, as we're just closing in on our 1 year anniversary. TV Championships not long been given, in fact only started in January, and so far that defending champion is Jeff Cobb. You can see that I've listed when it was defended in each country. This is so I can remember when it is going to be a world champion. So OWF champion Pac, television champion Jeff Cobb, women's champion obviously is going to be Sasha. We started with Chris Statlander with a great run with the belt, but we'll put it on Sasha, try and get the division over a bit more before we venture it to other workers down the line. And your tag champs, Lucha Bros, first champions, they took them in December, and they've had a couple of titles defences so far against the likes of AOP, American Wolves, and La Sombra and Rush have been their contenders so far. Company Wars. So you can see there, we've just signed people very, very recently. A lot of alumni, just people that have come in and left. Billy Ray, Danny Limelight, Jordan Oliver, Kenta, Matt Rhodes, Preston Vance, Rich Swann, Rob Van Dam and Travis Williams. Kenta went written to New Japan and I just felt like I couldn't afford it, so I wasn't justifying the money that he was getting paid. Interesting as well, Nightmares are main over attraction. It's all your ex-WWE guys that obviously lead the way. But what they do is the top 100s. So our top show was our Day of Reckoning, which we will cover. And interestingly, our January event, the New Beginnings 2, is in at number 2. Our best match of all time was from New Beginnings, and that was when Pac defeated Kenny Omega to take the championship belt and reign supreme at the top. Pac in there at number 2. In fact, our last show actually has 2 matches there, which has been Pac against Adam Cole for the championship and Nightmare, who defeated Sami Zayn. We've also got Lucha Bros against La Sombra and Rush, and Rey Fenix versus La Sombra as well. Nightmare with a few matches in there against Cody and Adam Cole. And our Day of Reckoning main event was Kenny Omega versus the Natural Nick Nemeth. And it was Nick Nemeth who did not get the win, but they still got a top 10 matchup. Not bad. So obviously the biggest attendance was the freeway, but after that it's mostly been our pay-per-views recently. And New Beginnings got a 1.13. You're wondering, less than 0.01 for St Valentine's Day Massacre. I put it on the Reservoir Network as well, so obviously why would people pay the money on pay-per-view when they could just watch it on our network? Hence why the buy rate was so low, but also why our views were so high compared to every other pay-per-view. So show history, that's what we'll show. I've just put that show just there. Jeff Cobb defeats Scorpio Sky, heading towards Pac and Adam Cole going forward. But I just want to cover the small events. So you can see there we had Pac defeat Adam Cole and O'Reilly made the save in our main event. Hangman against Nick Nemeth was in there, and a fatal 4-way, Crane, Devitt, Gargano and La Sombra. Devitt's also vowed to put Crane over, so that's why he's taking L's despite his debut. You can see there we could have Casey Navarro challenging Jeff Cobb, with Tennille Dashwood challenging Sasha, and of course Brian Pillman beating Kenny Omega. But you can see the first show I done, New Beginnings. Initially done like a taping schedule to start with, but wasn't really finding it fun, so we just went to individual shows. But where we are now, our Day of Reckoning, Kenny defeating Nick Nemeth, Sasha defeating Chris Statlander, Thunder Rosa and Tessa, a fatal 4-way with Nightmare versus Cody Rhodes, Lucha Bros versus AOP. We basically debuted Sarie and Evie at that show with Adam Page against Jeff Cobb, Adam Cole and Sami Zayn against La Sombra and Rush, Pillman against Joe, and a showcase of some talent in our opening match. So there's a lot going on. I might do these videos like every so often if people want to see them. But if you're interested in how it goes month by month, I do post the results on my Twitter after every event. So the big event, every show gets posted on Twitter, which is just the same as my YouTube, except it's just Twitter Maxwell on Twitter. Post a lot of crap, but there's a massive thread there. You can get through it and you can see all the results event from event. So hopefully, as I said, I can get to a crazy year in this. I'm targeting about 2035. There's someone on one of the Facebook pages, and then I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but he's got a custom company. He's like 2024, and then is it Zero on the Grey Dog Software forums? It always has a ridiculous save that ends up going so many years. I'm certainly envious, that's for sure. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Just a wee tour. Some people might like it. Some people might think, well, he's used a few things. What's the point in following it? But as I say, it's just a bit of fun. I'm just trying to get the achievements. As I say, it's not going to change anything with the likes of the AEW and Impact Wrestling saves. So thanks for watching. Take it easy. If you've got any just random saves yourselves, if you go into any custom companies, let me know who you signed, how you're getting on, etc. And I'll get back to you. But until then, take it easy. Bye bye.